Hi everyone, my name's Bonnie. I'm 54 years old and I wanted to give you guys an update on how I'm doing since I've been off Norco 7.5, 325 milligrams. I did a documentary a year ago. If you haven't seen it, if you feel like you want to watch it over again, I normally only try to watch it once or twice. But now's the time to review it because it's been almost a year since I've been off the Norcos, and I wanted to share with you my experience over the past year. And this is just my own personal experience. Not everyone's the same, but I just wanted you out there to know if you're on a journey that possibly you need to go off your pain medicine, or if you're wanting to get off of it but you don't have any way or the courage to get off of it. You have to take baby steps, but for me, I had no choice. I lost my job a little over a year ago, and that means I lost my health insurance and I could no longer see my doctor. I live with a condition called psoriatic arthritis. It's an autoimmune inflammatory disease, and in 2008 it was discovered that I am a carrier of the HLA-B27 antigen, which is one of the genes that is a precursor to spondylitis, any type of inflammatory autoimmune disease. So I lived in severe pain since 2008, and I started taking embryo injections, which suppresses my immune system. With the condition that I have is when my joints flare up, it means that my immune system is attacking them. When you come down with a cold, usually a healthy immune system will attack the germ if you have a sore throat or sinus infection and be done with it. In my case, if I come down with any type of flu, cold, a cut on my hand, or any type of illness, chances are my immune system, instead of fighting that off first, it's going to attack my joints. And when I say it attacks my joints, it's usually my hands. You can tell my fingers are deformed from over the years of cortisone injections. It attacks my knee, it attacks my ankles, it attacks my lower back. Luckily it hasn't attacked my neck. But anyways, what happened was when I lost my health insurance and I knew my prescription, I would be able to afford my prescription, but I would not be able to see my doctor on a cash basis. So when I realized a year ago, Memorial Day weekend, that I knew that I could no longer get a refill, it was time that I started weaning myself off the pain medicine. Now, I knew in advance what to expect from the last time I weaned myself off, but that was just an experiment. This time last year was for real. I knew that I would not be able to get another prescription unless I was under a doctor's care on a monthly basis, and that wasn't really going to happen being unemployed at that time. So I knew what to expect, but I didn't know what to expect because I had never gone off the pain pills longer than a week in the past 3 years. So this time it was at a point where I knew I was going to have trouble sleeping, so I had some Xanax left over, but those two are going to be gone. So over the first week I did a video, and you'll see that I couldn't sleep. That was one of the worst feelings of insomnia because my brain was not releasing enough serotonin, and I was chemically putting myself to sleep. I slept very well when I was on the Norcos. The Norcos for me were the best pain medication I could ever take. They were lower in Tylenol, and I was on several pain medications that worked well for me, but I was afraid, especially with ibuprofen. I was afraid, the lining of the stomach. Of course, with the acetaminophen, too much of it is toxic to your liver. So when I just did my research on the Norcos, the 7.5, the 325 milligram was perfect for me. It kept my joints from flaring up. I didn't have to take as much embryo. So when I went off them, I had all the signs of the cold. Usually when you go off any type of narcotic or any withdrawals, your body doesn't know what to do. It doesn't have that anymore, that protection. And the first thing that happens usually is you get the runny nose, the sneezing, the feeling lethargic, of course, no energy. Some people experience diarrhea. Of course, you're not eating well, you're definitely not sleeping, and you're more or less feeling miserable and depressed and feel like it's the end of the world. To me, it didn't feel like it was the end of the world, but I couldn't manage feeling that blue all the time. I wasn't really depressed. I was just feeling like, oh, I just need to get over this. When is this going to stop? And it was only when I discovered 5-HTP that was what I really needed, was the serotonin. And that supplement, I made a video on when I discovered that, along with, of course, taking my coconut oil, my apple cider vinegar, eating clean, sticking to low carb, staying off the wheat, reading my labels, gluten, everything I could possibly do. But again, I was just so focused on getting off the pain pills. And it took me, I didn't journal. I didn't really want to write down everything. It was easier for me to film it. But I was very surprised that by 4th of July, so from Memorial Day to 4th of July, I was on the road to recovery. I was in the clear. I felt like I didn't need these pills. I wasn't searching for one more pill. What was one more pill going to do? Just put me back to where I started from? I wasn't going to do that. I was in it for the good, and once you go off those pills, you need to stay off of them, but you need to probably wean yourself. I was taking 4 a day on average, and that was what I needed to keep my joints from flaring up. That's what I needed, so I wouldn't have to take the Enbrel injections. The Enbrel suppresses my immune system. It also has a lot of side effects, but I did very well on the Enbrel, but I wanted to get off of the Enbrel because one of the side effects for me being on Enbrel was weight gain. But that was, that wasn't my concern. All I wanted to do was get a good night's sleep, a natural sleep. And I did not have natural sleep for at least 6 months. And the 5-HTP definitely helped me. I had to take over-the-counter sleep aid. I didn't have much pain, so I more or less went back to taking the Advil over the counter. I didn't want to take Advil as much because of the lining of my stomach, but I think in any medication you take, you're going to have to go with whatever the side effects are, because for me, I could get away with 2 a day, 400 milligrams, and be okay. So guys and gals, if you're serious about weaning off your medication, and you need your doctor to be there for you, you need your friends and your family to know what you're doing. You cannot just you can do this on your own, but it's best to have some type of support group, whether it's just going to message boards, whether it's just watching YouTube videos, whether it's just making a journal or supporting each other. But just know that it's not something that happens overnight. It's not something you can prepare yourself for, other than keep deep inside your mind to look at the big picture, to know that you will get over this. And whether it's a dependency, whether it's an addiction, or whether you need it for, like myself, I live in pain, but I'm able to manage my pain now, and I realize that I can take a Vicodin, I can take a painkiller. It's not going to throw me back into where I started trying to get off of them. But I did it. It's been a year, coming up a year. And for 3 years in a row, I was on a medication that I was dependent on. It was part of my daily medication that I took along with my vitamins. And if I were insured and was able to see my doctor, chances are I would probably go back on those, because the Enbrel injections are having, they're every 3 months, and then it became every 6 weeks, and now it's almost once a month. And I don't want to be on Enbrel, but with my condition, chances are I'm going to have to take something for the rest of my life. I live with psoriatic arthritis. I live with an autoimmune inflammatory disease. But that doesn't give me the right not to take medication if I need it. So either way, whether you're in a situation where you're taking these medications, these prescribed, controlled prescription drugs, okay, and if you're taking them for recreational purposes, it's not a good idea, because it's no fun going through withdrawals. It's no fun in anything you do in life that you know your body gets used to, whether it's alcohol addiction, food addiction, you're a smoker. I mean, give your body a break. Listen to your body and let it heal. And I'm so happy that I'm here a year later making this video, hoping that maybe it will touch somebody out there, you out there. If you're needing some help, please do your research. Don't give up on yourself. Look at the big picture. Look at yourself where you were prior to taking this medication. For me, I didn't choose to take this. It just happened. Sometimes people are in a severe situation, whether they're in a severe accident, whether they've had their teeth pulled, their wisdom teeth pulled, and they were prescribed some painkillers. When you prescribe painkillers, they're just for a short term. But when you have a condition where it's a long term, it's a controlled substance. As long as you're going to see your doctor and he or she is checking your blood work, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But just know that your body needs a break from these. And to do that, you need to prepare. And when I discovered the 5-HTP, that was one of the best supplements I could have ever taken at that time, especially with the lack of sleep. I think the lack of sleep caused me to be in more of a depression, more of the blues. Here I am on job searches. I have to find a job, but I have to be healthy, mentally healthy. And I think that was the big thing. It wasn't the physical thing, it was the mental thing. And as long as you're mentally healthy, you can do anything. And be proud of what you've done in your life. And don't be a victim to dependency. Don't be dependent on anything in life, because our bodies are meant to repair itself. And just know that you can repair yourself. You can get healthy. You just need to want to do it. And I'm thankful that in a way that this caused me to have to go off these pills to learn more about myself and about my body, and to know my strengths and my weaknesses, and you too. And I'm on a weight loss journey, and it's a journey, and it's a healthy journey, and it's a health awareness journey. It's just not about fitting into a smaller size clothes or looking good. I stopped chemicals in my hair. I used baking soda, hair wash. I use apple cider vinegar in my hair. I drink apple cider vinegar tonic and mix it with tonic. I have videos on that. I do everything I can that's natural, or as close to being natural. And there's no time like today, okay? I'm not saying anything how you should live your life. I'm just sharing how I have learned through my faults and my weaknesses, that it's made me stronger and wiser. And if I can help anybody out there, I will. I'm not an expert. All I'm saying is, here I am a year later. I'm off the Norco pain medications. I most likely would back on them, tomorrow if I needed them. But right now I'm doing okay. But it hasn't been the easiest thing in life. But there is a tomorrow with no guarantees, okay? There's no guarantee in life other than what you set your mind to. So just remember, look at life as the big picture, and know that anything's possible in life. And I'm just so happy that I was able to touch some of you through my videos that I made. going through the withdrawals and some of the symptoms that I was going through. It was very difficult to even edit some of those because I was just feeling so like hopeless and helpless. I don't think this video would help anybody except myself, which it did. So I'm happy to say that here it is, Memorial Day 2013. A year ago is when I discovered I could no longer get a prescription refilled without seeing my doctor, and that it was time that I go through this with everything else that was going on in my life. You know, being unemployed, you have to wake up every morning like you are employed. You have to keep that frame of mind that you will get that job. And I have to remain positive that I will get that job. But in the meantime, I can take care of myself, take care of my body, continue to research, continue to learn, because with my autoimmune disease, I could easily end up in a wheelchair tomorrow. I never know what tomorrow brings. I could go out of remission and land severe pain. But I want to remain on the positive side. And I thank you all for being there for me. And if I was able to help any of you, just know that it comes from my heart that you matter, okay? Your life matters, and you can clean it up. It just takes time, whether, like I said, whether it's a food addiction, whether it's an alcohol dependency. Dependency and addiction are two different things. But when your body heals itself, it's the most wonderful feeling in the world. Just remember that. There's no better feeling than being free. Take care, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye, everyone.